What is going on, Pokemon community? It is Achilles018 here, and today we are talking about the top 5 criticisms of Pokemon Go. Now, I've been playing Pokemon Go since launch. I thoroughly enjoy the game. I think it's great. I play it every day. With that being said, there are certainly some things that the game can do better, and some changes that I think Niantic Labs can incorporate that, in my mind, are relatively simple based on the technology that we already know is available. So what I want to do is, rather than just pointing out 5 things wrong with the game, these really are true criticisms. And by that I mean, I'm not only going to point out some flaws I think the game has, but I'm also going to take a little bit of time to explain how I think the problem can be fixed, so I can try to be part of the solution versus just someone that identifies an issue. So with that out of the way, let's go. Number 5. Increased spawn rates for rural players. I don't know enough about app development to explain this in detail, but based on how hotspots appear to work based on GPS tracking traffic, there's a lot of Pokemon that appear at gas stations, malls, supermarkets, that sort of thing. It stands to reason there's some kind of algorithm that determines how many Pokemon spawn in an area, with Pokemon species more or less being generated by random numbers, or RNG for short. That said, set a standard or some kind of equation that allows more Pokemon to populate even in more isolated areas that are not in close proximity to gyms or Pokestops or other high traffic areas. In a very simplistic way, fix the game to where no less than 2 Pokemon spawn at any location at any time. I understand this is much more complex in practice, but the truth is, rural players are absolutely left out in the cold, and frankly, they have been since launch. This problem has gone on far too long. Number 4. Eliminate or reduce the trade limit. Let's increase the number of times a Pokemon can be traded, please. Rather than friendship levels reducing Stardust cost for trades, have increased friendship increase the distance you can trade between. We have gift exchanging and now battling that can be done worldwide. So why is trading, the whole concept the original Pokemon games are based around, not available to be done worldwide? Pokemon is a global game, and it's impossible to live out the mantra of gotta catch 'em all the way the game is designed today, unless you're a world traveler. Niantic is spending too much time banning spoofers when they should be attacking the source of the issue and not the symptoms. Make raid battles more accessible, more on that later, and more importantly, have trading be worldwide. I don't know how this would work, but I would also love to see a GTS or global trading system established for Pokemon Go. Number 3. Disable Protect in PvP or make defensive movesets available. Let's face it, Pokemon Go is an offensively minded game. Having a powerhouse like Vaporeon, for example, that has a high DPS output with access to 2 impenetrable defense moves is OP. It makes defensive, bulky Pokemon less viable and just further emphasizes the offensive mindset of the game. Think about raiding or gym battles in Pokemon Go. You know you can dodge, but do you? Rarely? Never? You don't have defensive movesets, nor do most players frequently utilize dodging in raids or gym battles, so why here? Why in battling? I suggest utilizing the new Add Attack system to give your Pokemon a second charge move, but give players the option to select Protect or another defensive move rather than defaulting to another attacking move. This gives players the option to utilize defensive movesets, but makes them pay for it by sacrificing offensive options. So there's a balance. I think there could be some great raid-centric utilization to this as well. Maybe if someone in the party has Protect as a move, they can defend all teammates in the raid for 5 seconds once per raid or something like that. Either way, Pokemon Go as it exists today is all about offense, and arbitrarily slapping 2 impenetrable defenses per match, regardless of Pokemon being used and at no cost to offensive output, is a cookie-cutter approach at best. Number 2. Show shiny sprites on the overworld and unlock every shiny. Did you know only 16% of Pokemon available at this time in Pokemon Go, not counting evolutions, can be shiny? That's 71 base forms attainable as shiny versus the 441 catchable Pokemon as of making this video. For most players, the other 84% is white noise and basically is avoided. Let me give you an example. Wild Skitty and Wild Growlithe appear at the same location. What do? Encounter the Growlithe to see if it's shiny. It's not. Fine. So you run away. And the Skitty? Let me guess. You don't start the encounter. Why? There's no reason to. You already have Skitty and Delcatty in your Pokedex, and it isn't viable in the metagame. The truth is, shiny Pokemon are the lifeblood of catching because beyond catching your first of a species for the Pokedex, the rarity and excitement of a shiny encounter gives every Pokemon importance. Given the example earlier, if there was a shiny Skitty available, you probably would encounter it to see if it was a shiny. At least then it has some relevance to be on your phone screen. That said, it brings me to another small but important point. Make Pokemon appear on the overworld as shiny. With the advent of Pokemon Go and the shinies appearing as shiny on the overworld there, shiny hunting can now be made much more fun, simple, and dare I say, lore-friendly by having shinies appear on the overworld. Niantic have already fixed some lore-ish cosmetic changes with the overworld. It used to be that genders on the overworld sprites were randomly generated, and the encounter genders were also randomly generated. By that I mean that a female Sneasel on the overworld may turn into a male once you encounter it. A cosmetic issue that could be troublesome when you're trying to catch Pokemon like Combee that only evolve if they're a specific gender. Niantic have since fixed this, and now genders on the overworld and the actual Pokemon you encounter match. So make the overworld Pokemon shiny too. Mass running away from Pokemon while looking for shinies is not fun. Finally, number 1. Let people know when other players are at raid locations. There's something to be said about game developers hiding the fun in their own games. Whether it's intentional or unintentional remains to be seen. Unhide the fun. What do I mean? We already know the technology exists to show when gyms are being attacked, even from long distances away, and the tech also exists to see how many players are in a raid lobby if you are in short range of the gym. Just take the range away. This can be solved by displaying the number of players currently in a raid lobby, just like the game does today, but instead of displaying this number as part of the lobby entry button, make this number viewable above the raid boss's sprite from a distance over the gym, just like you can see from a distance when the gym is being battled with flames, explosions, and lightning bolts flying everywhere. Here's the truth of the matter with raids. Solo or small group players, especially those near 2 or more active raids, are given an impossible question to answer correctly. Do I go to raid A or to raid B? Do you stay at raid A while a big group is tackling raid B unbeknownst to you? Or do you go to raid B only to realize that no one is there and you cannot solo the raid, so you spend 45 minutes waiting in your car only to have no one show up and you drive away feeling like you've wasted your time? I personally have had significantly more failures than successes with this, and as the game is built today, my quote-unquote successes come down to luck. Bottom line, it's not fun. Yes, there are raid groups, Facebook groups, and apps to help with this, but if you're a game developer and your audience has to use a third-party app you didn't create to make your game more accessible, there's something wrong with your game. Unhide the fun. Raids are the ultimate in-game activity in any game. Making them more accessible to all players does not take away from that. Does it increase the odds of a solo player taking down a difficult raid by finding a group faster? Yes, but that isn't a bad thing, nor does it unbalance the game. Pokemon defeated in raids are still not guaranteed catches. In fact, there's been more than one occasion where I personally have had 14 balls to catch a legendary Pokemon only to fail, and that's with all of my throws making contact with the target Pokemon. Bottom line, make the most fun part of the game more accessible to all players and unhide the fun. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope you enjoyed today's Pokemon content. If you did, please leave a like so I can better understand the content you like and don't like. Want to join the conversation? Leave a comment down below. I do read them. Finally, be sure to stay up to date with my content by clicking the subscribe button. That's all from me. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you soon with more Pokemon content.